Row one here. I got Life as a Plant and NoCo Racing in here, shortly to be joined by our CEO Taddy. Heading into race two of, what is this, round two or round three? I think this is round two.
This is the second race
of
round two.
Round two at Gateway. Quick recap: we've seen the 51 of Bad For You Racing come away with the win at Atlanta. What are y'all looking to see in this next race? Gateway, it's a little bit different, a little bit tighter, it's flatter, but the backstretch and straightaways are longer. I mean, what do you think we're going to happen?
Truthfully, this is a driver's track. We're going to see a lot of our technical drivers up front racing for the win, and it's going to give us a great idea of, you know, who can really drive and who might need a little help.
NoCo?
Honestly,
what do you think?
I think we're going to see a lot more green flag laps at Gateway just because the speeds are a little lower. The draft isn't going to play that big of a role, you know, in passing cars. And like Plant said, this is a driver's track. You might see a couple of guys be able to get out front, maybe yard the rest of the field, pull away a little bit. So I'm looking for this to stretch out and string out the field and maybe get some longer green flag runs in this time.
Exactly.
One thing I honestly think I'm looking for, we've seen the fuel saving. Here,
yes.
It's not necessarily just about fuel, but especially tires, as sharp as these corners are. But what I'm looking for is definitely that third stage when they have to make that green flag pit stop, getting on and off of pit road with that pit road access. How many people are going to mess that up? How many trucks are we going to see sliding off the asphalt into the grass, back onto the asphalt again, hitting the barrier, wrecking? How many of them we're going to see breaking loose coming off of pit road? That's
hopefully
could definitely make or break
no
it.
One. Exactly. Hopefully no one. But this is definitely one of the hardest pit roads to get in and get off of. So it's going to be interesting to see what people pull and how good people get on and get off.
Right. It's a comparable pit road entry and exit to Homestead, Miami.
Yes.
With the little access roads. So if you're good at getting on pit road at Miami, then you shouldn't have any issues getting on pit road here. But honestly, it's going to come down to what slider you use, how loose your car is really going to depend on how hard you want to push it getting into the pit, because that's where you're going to make up the most ground and where you're going to lose the most ground on the green flag run is getting in and out of pits.
Exactly.
I love it, Rocket Man.
Hey, you're driving the 6 car, you're the Rocket Man, right?
that's NoCo right there.
Yeah. I'll tell you, the way you've been running on Wednesdays, you're definitely looking like the Rocket Man in that 6 car.
I appreciate that, Boom. We're digging hard, man. We're going for that championship on Wednesday, and
yes,
it ain't going to come easy, but it's not going to come easy for Team Ford, but I'm pretty optimistic about our last 2 races of the season.
Oh, yeah. Both of them being mixed with the draft and driver's track at the same time, which you know, kind of makes it a little bit interesting, so we're definitely going to have to see.
It's gonna be a nice a home track reunion for me, so I'm pretty pumped about it.
All right, before we get in the lobby, before we see qualifying times and all that stuff, who are your pre-race picks?
Well, it's tough because I haven't seen a lot of these guys on the track, and I really haven't seen a lot of these guys run Gateway. I do know what a couple drivers are running as far as lap times, which I'm not going to disclose to anybody, but they're running pretty good lap times. It's good pace. Honestly, I'm going to look for the Ford cam to bounce back. I feel like that right now that they got the hot hand right now with all the wins we've had last week. Barring all the cautions from last race, I believe that there was a good chance that maybe a Ford driver could have won at Atlanta too. I mean,
we
it was
had
anybody's
3
race
of them
at
up
the
there.
end. Yeah, we had 3 out of the top 5 Fords. So I'm going to look for the Ford drivers, especially Golden Diver, our playoff driver. I'm going to see how he progresses through.
Yes.
In this final race for the second round. And honestly, man, I'm still going to go with my pick. He's he's on the top of my draft board right now, and that's going to be no Pit Pendle.
Plant? Who are you looking at?
I think he's going to get it done.
Truthfully, with the developmental race that we had a couple days ago, it was definitely interesting to see some of these newcomers up there trying to make a name for themselves. So I'm definitely interested to see what Bad For You does and
Yes.
Wicked Gatekeeper. They had a phenomenal run
I
Saturday.
forgot about Wicked Gatekeeper.
They had a great run Saturday. So
Yes, they
I'll
did.
be interested to see if they can pull it off for the night also.
You know, and boom, to touch on the subject, we got our draft coming up for NH4, and with all three of us being captains, I'm actually using these races to scout out new drivers and upcoming talent.
Yes.
Because I myself, I can't wait to get some drivers, to get some, some new talent in my stable, and really let them get a hold of the custom setups and the stuff I can build, and basically teach people how to build these setups. It's going to be very fun.
Yes, it will. Because little birdies, we've seen, and heard, especially, all the stuff on Facebook, it gets leaked and everything. The setups don't exactly comply from Heat 3 to Heat 4. So going from everything that we know, we're all basically starting from scratch next week. So it's going to be interesting
It'll be
to see.
fun and interesting.
Yes, it's definitely going to be interesting. We're all probably going to have a little bit of a learning curve in the first week or so.
But that doesn't take away from the fact that you might try to go back to your Heat 3.
Oh yeah.
Your Heat 3 note. You're going to go back to your Heat 3 notebook. You're going to look at data sheets from your other cars that you had in Heat 3. You might try to incorporate some stuff from Heat 3 to Heat 4, because I do believe some stuff is going to transfer over setup-wise, but I don't believe a lot of the stuff will. So everything you've thought of conventional thinking as far as if I do this to the car, it's going to make it do this, you can throw all that out the window now, because you're going to start with a clean slate. We've got our new aero package for 2019, and I understand we're running 2019 in NH3, but it is absolutely different driving dynamics and physics from NH3 to now NH4 that will be coming out within the week.
And the tracks
So
are a
it's going
little
to be
bit
interesting.
different.
Yes, it's going to be interesting to see, as far as the drivers we draft, who's going to get a grasp on those custom setups the fastest.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm going to be interested in. That's my biggest thing right there, is who's going to have the speed to be able to contend.
Yep, so let's let Teddy get back in the party. Alright, so we're good to join.
Mr. Taddy to the booth.
Hey, thanks, guys.
On who we might want to stack up as far as our mock draft ladder goes.
I was actually, the chat that I'm in during the qualifying, I'm in with Bad For You, Wicked Gatekeepers in there, a few of the newer guys that haven't run with us, and that's exactly what I told them. I said, be respectful to the other drivers on the track, because that's something that us captains look for.
And it looks like Titan's got the pole.
Yeah, oh yeah, he did. He ran a 2. The closest to him was Pendle with a 3.
Wow.
But so I told the guys, I said, race hard, race clean, be respectful.
As we are wrecking on turn 1 already.
No caution, though, I believe.
Nope, I
Yeah,
don't
that's
believe
what we
so.
talked about, guys. With these slower speeds, I don't think NH3 is going to recognize throwing cautions like it would at like a 1.5-mile track.
3 wide for third.
I look at Gateway. Gateway to me reminds me of 3 tracks. It reminds me of Martinsville, Phoenix, and New Hampshire all in one track.
That's the way I look at it. Martinsville and New Hampshire. Oh, as we see, it looks like the 50.
I'd almost throw a little Darlington in there with how when you come up off the corner, how easy it is to get a piece of that wall, and if you go up too high in the corners and you catch the wall, it just sucks you in there. There's no getting off until you're back on the straightaway.
Oh yes.
Right. As we see here, we've seen this before, guys. Same song, second verse. You got the 92 and the 25 first and second. And
We've
it looks
got
like
Trey.
right now they've checked out from third place, which is that 54 truck of Trey.
Looks like the 83 cards gets around the 21 of Napa for fourth. No, that's not the 21.
That's the 41, I believe,
41,
Wicked
yes.
Gatekeeper. And also right there, following the
Bad
83
for
on the
you.
inside, is the two trucks that stayed nose to tail throughout all of Atlanta, the 83 and the 51. Bad for you and Card Fan.
You know, I'm definitely going to keep an eye on that 41 truck. He made some moves that impressed me that last race. He kept his nose clean. I didn't see him actually causing any issues at Atlanta. He just looks like he was the recipient of bad luck.
Along with that 25.
Like, yes. And right now the battle is heating up front.
Oh,
as
looks like
the
Trey caught the
92
apron.
is getting to the bumper of that 25 truck. We're going to see who's going to be able to handle these trucks on the long run as these tires start to wear out and these trucks start to tighten up.
Oh yes, absolutely.
So I'm actually riding a little bit farther back in the pack, more of a playoff implement thing as we get ready to go into Daytona after this race. As I'm riding along with the 68 of Old Guy, and the 52 of Golden Diver is right behind him. So the two of those guys are racing for position.
I'll tell you what, right now, third place, it's a gaggle. You got 4 trucks all going for third place right now. It's some good racing. Side by side, everybody's staying clean. They're holding a good line. I'm really impressed right now with these guys.
Oh, it looks like Old Guy
I'm
had a little bit of struggle
super
getting
pumped
into
up.
turn 1.
I'm super pumped up at the amount of talent we have for the upcoming draft. I'm excited for it.
No doubt.
Oh, the old guy.
Old Guy
Holy-
and Golden Diver make contact.
That's
Old Guy
some
hit the
playoff
24.
implications right there.
He bumped the 24. Looked like the 24 was slow going down the backstretch. He was trying to figure out which way to go.
It looks
And
like
just-
the biggest loser from that exchange was the 68 of Old Guy.
Yes.
You hate to see it.
Especially after missing the first race.
If you're a playoff driver, I guess this goes out to you, Noko. If you're a playoff driver and you know that this race doesn't matter, but the next race that somebody will be eliminated going into at the end of Daytona, are you looking for somebody that you see that you can race well around and maybe possibly work well with when we get to Daytona?
I think so, but at the same time, I would be more concerned with if I'm not a playoff driver. Like, for example, you know, we could look at like the 50 truck or like the 92 of Pendle. If I'm not a playoff driver and I got somebody like Golden Diver that is a playoff driver, I'm going to try to help him in any way possible, in any way, shape, or form I can at Daytona. So I'm definitely going to try to look to work with him during the race to see if, you know, how good we can work together. And ultimately, this is about teammanship, and it's about getting that championship for our manufacturer. So, I mean, any way we can to get to the Final Four is what I'm all for. As it looks like the 25 truck plowed turn 2 right now. It allowed the 92 to get right up on the back bumper. That's what we
pretty
talked
good
about,
battle
guys.
for third right
If
here
those
still.
tires wearing out.
On that
Looking
exact
further
same,
back, that 24 truck looks like he's struggling a little bit. Allowed the 52 of Golden Diver to get to the outside. I think he's waiting for adjustments right now. You know, truck might not be handling
I'm
as
pretty
great
sure
as
a
he
lot of
wanted
people
to.
are
Maybe
right
do some
now.
adjustments. Oh yeah, absolutely.
to reiterate a little bit more on what you'd said, Noko, Boomhauer, if you're the 25 and the 68, they're both Team Chevy when we go into Daytona, and they're both in the playoffs. Do you think that that's going to come into play, having a teammate that's also in the playoffs, whereas
do.
Trey and Golden Diver are both solo as one Toyota and one Ford?
I do. Also, I mean, it's also going to depend on, crazy enough, it goes back to the chat parties. We've got a lot of drivers. They're all spread out.
Yep.
We know I'm pretty sure Titans and Old Guy are in the same chat right now. Are they?
I actually, so I made the chat parties. Every playoff driver, the 4 playoff drivers, are in one chat.
They are?
And I kind of split up the rest of the field into 2 separate chats
Okay,
after
then.
that.
Well,
Yeah. I wanted
that-
them to be able to discuss, and if they were seeing any issues on the non-playoff drivers, kind of
Okay.
as a group, be able to discuss and let me know. So if I had to get somebody out of the race,
So
they
did
would,
you-
as a group, be able to let me know.
My question: do you got the 52 and the 92 in the same chat?
the 52 and the 92. No, the 92
No.
is in a chat. Pendle is in a chat with Bad For You. Card Stan is in a chat with Diesel Chunk and Makey. And then the 52, the 68, the 25, and the 54 are all in one chat.
Okay. See, that's going to reiterate what you talked about, though. Trying to work with somebody at Daytona, it's going to be hard to work with your fellow teammates when you're not in the same party. So you're going to kind of just basically gauge on strategy. You're going to work with whoever you're around. When it comes time to pit, you're going to pit. You're going to pit with the pack. Whoever, if I'm in their situation, I'm going to pit with the most cars possible to try to make sure I stay in that that lead draft.
Absolutely. I mean, because if you pit with, say, 2 or 3 people, chances are everybody gets on pit road different, so therefore you're going to come off different. If you pit with 2 or 3 people compared to pitting with 5, 6, 7 people, the more you pit with, the more chances you are close together leaving pit road, which means the draft is going to come in quicker. You can get organized a little bit better.
It looks like the 88 might be lagging a little right now. The 88 is Country Rebel. It looks like he's lagging.
Yes, he is. I'm watching from old guy's view right now, and I can definitely see that truck slingshotting.
Severely lagging right now.
I'm up here at the front, and a couple laps ago, Pendle got into the wall, and he lost a little bit of distance, but then it looks like this tire fall off is just getting the best of him, as that battle for third seems to be catching him as he's losing Titans.
Yeah, that 41 truck's been peeking to the inside of the 83 the last 3 laps. I've been on board with the 41. And you got Bad For You right behind him right now, sitting in 5th. These guys are just waiting for those adjustments. I know exactly what's going to happen here. They're gonna get those adjustments in. They know what their cars or their truck's doing on a long run. This is exactly what they needed to see. They needed to have a long run to find out exactly what the truck's going to do with the tire fall off. Because in Atlanta, we really didn't get to see a long green flag run. You know, those mile and a half tracks are talked of. Sometimes you can have a great race at those tracks, and sometimes it can be a caution fest or a lag fest.
This is some pretty good racing. I like seeing the field get spread out like this.
It lets you know who's got more control over their truck, who can
this is what we talked
handle
about in the pre-race, though.
Yep, who can handle the tightness from the tires falling off or looseness, depending on the setup you've got.
That 92 is actually starting to reel in the 25 truck. The 25 caught the wall there off turn 4.
Looks like the 16 is starting to reel into 54.
It looks like the 24 is on pit road. I'm not sure if there's an issue with the 24 truck or if he pitted or lagged out, but he's on pit road right now. I'm going to wait to see if he finishes service and gets back out on the track.
Let's go to plant real quick. How much of a rhythm track do you believe Gateway to be? Whereas if, as we seen Pendle earlier fall off and now he's catching back up, do you think when he hit the wall, maybe he just fell out of rhythm for a few laps and it took him a while to get back into it?
It's definitely. I look at this track like how Noko said, as Martinsville. Martinsville is a very rhythm track.
The wall again.
If you step out of rhythm, then that kind of messes your lineup for the next couple of laps just to get going again. That's just how I look at it. This is a very technical driver's track.
It looks like them tires on that 25 starting to fall off too. It looks like he's struggling to hold the bottom of it.
Sports Legend actually, he lagged out of the race, guys. So
and that was the end of that stage.
Yeah, you hate to see it there.
As we've got.
Well, Trey finished that stage up in 6th, so that's good stage points there. He's keeping Titans close.
Titans, Kendall, Wicked, Bad For You, Cards, Trey, and then his screen went blue.
Bad For You winning Atlanta. Noko, how important do you think it is for Titans to try to get this victory here, knowing that tonight's the season finale also, and trying to put that exclamation of, hey, I'm here to win? Noco?
No-co. Alright, well.
Okay. We'll go to you, Boomhauer. Same question. How important do you think it is to get that victory and just put the exclamation point on the night going into these next two very important playoff races?
I really think it's very, very important. As we see the 88 not pit again. And he's dropping to the inside. As that gives Pendle the inside, sorry. I think it's big going in, trying to get the wins and get the points, get everything that you can. Like you said, put an explanation point saying, listen, I'm here to win, I'm doing everything I can. But also, it's almost guaranteed for Titans and Trey to make it through Daytona. But at the same time, you still want to get as many points as you can, because Daytona is Daytona. Anybody can get up there and win, including a guy that literally just started today that we really haven't been followed. And if something happens, with the draft track, it being, we have a couple accidents, and say Titans, Trey, somebody like that gets at the back of the pack and can't get back up front due to all the cautions and stuff like that, and another driver gets up there getting points, that's big going into Miami, knowing that it's only 3 going in.
Just lagged out.
Wow.
Oh. No.
I'd seen someone disappear. I just couldn't quite tell who it was.
Yep, that was the 92.
He said after this race he was actually going to hardwire in. He was running this race and Atlanta off just his Wi-Fi, and he'd never done that, so he was concerned about lag issues anyways.
Oh, so we got 3 wide coming out of turn 2.
He may have backed out to try to get his internet situated before we go to Daytona.
That could possibly be it. Yeah, I definitely think, getting up there, running as hard as you can, getting as many wins, getting as many points as you can. It don't matter what race it is, how far ahead you are. Like, as we seen AJG last night, he was already in it, and he still stayed up there and got every point that he could. I mean, it's just, as a driver, you want all that you can get. As we see the 16 make one heck of a pass on the 41.
That would be, the race you're talking about would be the take your captain out of playoff 250 that AJG won, correct?
Yes, it is. Was pretty much almost guaranteed into Daytona and Homestead, and as we'll see the 16 get a little bit loose coming out of turn 4, and he is sideways. As the 52 hits him, and I believe that right there might throw the caution. It did.
I'm not gonna lie, that looked like a controller died.
Because the way he just stopped.
Yes.
That right there, though, that's how quick these playoffs could change. An instant like that, the 41 and the 16 had an issue. The 52 of Golden Diver in the playoffs was collected, who had about a 2 to 3 second lead over Old Guy. And because the 52 was wrecking, Old Guy got ahead. If we have that at Daytona, Old Guy would advance and Golden Diver would be eliminated.
It also goes to the game itself, not throwing cautions. Thankfully, for Diver just now, it threw that caution. Because, as you know, we've all seen way worse accidents than that, and like the flagman not even paying attention. He's sitting there eating ice cream saying we ain't got time for y'all right now.
Guys, real quick,
All right.
I'm noticing the 25 pitted. He's in the rear of the field now.
Ooh. Strategy, maybe?
All there.
Bold move, Cotton.
As we've got 7 laps to go into this stage. Let's see the
4 wide.
83.
83, 41, 21, 54. They're just duking it out up
25's
here for
coming
second
back.
place.
4 wide going down the backstretch. Holy moly. Is anybody going to back out? Yeah, it looks like Titan's backed out just a little bit, but here he comes. As we see the 68
I'm not so sure
old guy.
there's much room for people to back out.
3 wide still with old guy, Trey, and Diesel.
Now that's good racing.
That was. As we see the 54 to 16 make a little bit of contact. They contact again. Don't look like there was a ping pong effect though. The 52 caught the grass. He was skating
That
through there.
51 of Bad For You is loving watching all this racing going on in his rearview mirror.
Oh, you know it. Coming up to 5 laps to go. That's all he's thinking about. Just keep on racing back there.
You know, that has me interested in Titan's strategy there of pit, and I'm wondering if he has maybe run a mock run of this, and he knew that if he pitted there in stage 2, he could get away with just one pit stop earlier in stage 3.
Possibly.
I'm not so sure why he would have pitted there.
Well, see, that's what I was talking about, at Atlanta with, the 88 not pitting, because he looked like he had pitted when there was 4 laps to go in the stage 2. Well, I thought, maybe somebody had pitted like that. 4 laps on tires ain't really a whole lot, especially with cautions. So, don't pit for the start of the last stage. You've still got to make one more stop regardless. So just make that one stop from the front of the pack a little bit early, get the fresher tires, and force everybody else to pit early. Oh, see the 41 catch the wall hard as the 68 catches him and spins him around. And caution. Nope, not yet.
No caution.
I actually want to say that was really good of the 41. He was in that incident, and when he got spun, the 68 made a little contact with him, but the 41 actually stayed up at the wall, spun out, let the rest of the field go, and then he got on the gas and continued.
And see the 52 diver get around him. He's up there running in. Not sure. 7th, as old guy's running in 9th.
Plan is we see Titans running in 2nd place after he pitted there and went to the rear. Do you think it's a possibility that he might have pitted intentionally to go to the rear and see how hard it would be to work his way back up?
Truthfully, no. I think he made an adjustment or something to fix something that he did probably during that in the first stage, just to make his car a little bit better, and it turned it out to be a little bit worse. I would just assume it was just an adjustment.
So you're saying he probably corrected his prior adjustments?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Let's see Trey up to 4th, running right behind Napa Fan. As we see the 16 of Diesel trying to make his way on the inside of Cards Fan for that 5th spot.
That 51 is bad for you. He's looking pretty strong. He doesn't seem to have the speed of a Titans, but he's looking pretty strong up there.
Napa caught the wall going into turn 2. As the 88 catches the grass.
So, Noko, after watching this race and how good and competitive and for the most part pretty clean, has this opened your eyes up to some drivers you maybe didn't even have on your draft radar? As now might be one of your top drivers you might want?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely been adjusting the boards and putting people in different places for a mock draft. It's definitely opened my eyes to a few drivers, for sure. Looks like that's caution or the end of the stage there.
I
That
believe
was the end of the stage.
2.
It
As we
was.
get ready to go into stage 3, guys, let's start with you, Plant. Who's I'm sure you're going to go with probably the same pick as last time, but who are you looking at as the driver to watch here to win the race?
Truthfully, I think I'm gonna have to go with Trey. I think he's gonna pull out some kind of strategy and definitely get a win.
Let's go to you, Noko. Who are you looking at?
Well, since my pick lagged out, I think I'm gonna go with the 21. I think he might have something as far as strategy. Like,
As he makes a move on the inside of Bad For You right now, as Titans hits the wall, catches Trey, catches Diesel. Oh, and they are all...
Yeah, that really ruined Trey's race right there.
Yes, it did. As no caution is...
Yeah,
Yes,
it looks
there
like
is.
caution's out now.
It finally came out.
Let's go to you, Boomhauer. So we got Plant has picked the. Well, I don't even remember who he picked.
21.
But then, oh yeah.
No, Trey. He
No,
picked
Nuko
Trey.
picked the 21. Plant picked Trey. Who are you looking at as your driver to watch here as we come to an end?
Well, we actually talked about it, before the race, before you got back in the lobby with us. As me and Plant actually ran the developmental race Saturday at Gateway with a lot of these drivers. And the guy that was pretty much up front most of the time and ended up winning is currently leading.
It's
So
hard to go against the leader.
it is, especially after seeing him race Saturday.
Titans is starting dead last on this. As for me, I'm going to have to go with a truck that looks a lot like that 51. And the two of them have been pretty close together all night. I'm going to go with, say, the 83 of Cards Fan, somebody that I believe I should be watching.
Oh. Well, he's in third right now, so this looks like Napa gets a heck of a lead coming out of turn one.
Laps are clicking away. You're in the back right now. You're kind of in trouble. A lot of ground to make up.
Yes, it is. Let's see, old guy making his run into 8th. Trey's following him for 9th.
41 truck's looking to the inside right now. He was peeking for that third position.
As I see, the 88 catch the wall.
I'm back here with Titans. We've been green now a couple laps, and he's actually only managed to get by 2 of the trucks so far. He's not zooming up like we seemed to last time he started in the rear. As I say that, he goes into the wall.
As we see, Trey has already worked his way up to 7th, running right behind Golden Diver.
You hate to see it. Looking on the inside of the 68 truck right now.
Yeah, he's trying to pass the old guy, yeah.
Oh, that 21 went wide right there, exiting 2.
There comes the 51 on the inside of Bad For You. Somebody else we didn't talk about, Wicked Gatekeeper in the 41 truck, trying to get on the inside of Cards Fan right now for 3rd place.
Oh, yeah.
Cards kind of overdrove that corner.
As we see, it looks like the 50 car kind of caught Titans or old guy one. Can't tell who it was. He caught the rumble strips and is sitting in. He's on the front stretch just now crossing the start-finish line, so he lost a little bit of time there.
Golden Diver up in the wall looks like Trey's getting underneath him.
Yep, battle for 6th.
What a great battle for 3rd is the 16 of Diesel Chunk has now gotten into the picture, and he just passed Wicked Gatekeeper now. He's looking to set his sights on Cards Fan.
As the 7 truck just doored old guy going down the backstretch.
Battle for the lead, side by side. Bad For You trying to get back by Napa Fan for the P1.
And here we're going to see a crossover.
Pull a crossover here.
Yes, he is.
Great
touch. And they keep it off the wall. But it looks like Bad For You's going to have that run coming off that high line, though.
He got that push from those cars right behind him.
Yes, he did.
That side-by-side racing they had, though, that brought 3rd and 4th and 5th place right back into this battle as they had a little gap prior. 21 gets into the rear end of the 51.
All right, so now 21's got the preferred line with that high line, that run coming off as he sucks up behind him and get that draft.
Ooh.
Looks like he's getting out just a little bit early.
Yeah, the 21's definitely backing up the corner a lot earlier, trying to get that quick run off and try to make the pass here on the straightaways. As he shoots to the inside.
And then he goes. He's definitely wheeling that truck.
The 41 back to 3rd place as he gets by Cards Fan right behind him.
Catches the rumble strips and he's in the grass.
Oh,
good move though. That was good for him to go down and get out of the way, though. You know, he knew he was in trouble. He didn't come shooting back up the track and cause any issues. Good job there, Napa Fan.
As Diver just continues to struggle with his truck, I think he's braking way too late, and it's sliding and going straight up into the walls. You see Titans get around him for 7th, 6th again. As we see the 16 of diesel right there on Trey's bumper.
One thing I have to add is I'm really liking what I'm seeing with these new drivers and developmental trying to make a name for themselves running 1, 2, 3 at the moment.
Oh yes.
Great to see that, just to see what the future of Giggity holds.
As we see the three-way battle for fourth right now between Trey, Diesel, and Titans.
It's taken him a while to get back up there, but Titans is back in this picture of the lead pack cars.
As we see Diver making a run, he's trying to make this a four-way battle as Titans catches the wall. That commentator's
Three
curse
of the four
strikes
playoff
again.
drivers there in fourth.
And here comes Napa again. He's making a run on the inside of Titans as he was slow after making contact with the wall. Speaking of three of the four playoff
these
drivers,
top three right now, they've checked out.
let's go take a look and find out where Mr. Old Guy is. Looks like he's about a quarter of a lap behind the rest of these guys.
Well, one thing I know for sure, I know the top 3 drivers of Bad, Wicked, and Cards, they all run together a lot, so I wouldn't have any doubts that they're working together trying to just break away from everybody else, just to race among themselves.
Yeah, to go into that a little bit more, the 41 of Wicked Gatekeeper and the 51 of Bad For You, they're actually in the same chat, so they were able to kind of discuss, and you know, they might have said, hey, let's straighten it out and just pull away.
Oh, the 25 and the 21 kissed the grass. Ugh, sorry.
Oh, the 52 gets sent down, and the 25 plowed 16. That looks like caution.
Caution
maybe,
is out. Yes, it is.
That puts a whole new concept here, pit strategy here.
Yes, it does. With 29 laps to go, they still have to make one more stop.
So do you pit and have fresh tires and maybe save a short run at the end of the race? Do you stay out here, do a short run, and then try to pit? Or what's your guys' perspective? Let's go to plant here.
I'm pitting for 4 tires right off the bat, and then probably go for a fuel or 2 right sides for later on in the run.
I have to agree.
Do you think that's the right move, Noko, or are you going with a maybe a 2-tire stop here because we've seen track position is key, and maybe later on, if it smooths out, maybe do the 4-tire stop?
I feel like 4 tires is going to be the winning call here. Take 4 tires, fill it up, and then get yourself a little splash and go at the end. It's too risky to go out there with old tires to try to hold track position, especially with how much of a disadvantage you're going to be on older tires.
As we're back to green flag racing.
Oh, is the 88 catch the wall?
Definitely lagging. That looked like a lag wreck of his own.
41's looking to the outside of the 51 right now.
Yes, he is.
It looks like he's going to get that position.
And here comes the 83 as well.
He's going to pull the 83 with him.
That would be, if I'm not mistaken, his first time leading in the Giggity Racing League. For,
and the 16 truck of Diesel is out.
Oh, that 25 caught the wall again. He's pushing it a little too hard right now.
As you see, 68 old guy on the inside of him trying to get his way back up there for a top. Oh, he makes contact.
68 trying to stuff it in on a 25 right there. He's telling him, hey, I'm here for the playoffs too, guy.
Oh yeah, don't forget about me.
Right now as they run, it looks like Trey is the highest running playoff driver.
Titans was dominating when he was in first, and it looks like now that he's back in traffic, getting around these guys, he's struggling as we see him keep getting into the wall and catching the apron sometimes. As I say, that old guy gets on the apron.
I think you got to attribute that to you're trying to overdrive it to get back your positions you've lost. Yep. And, you know, sometimes when you overdrive it like that, you're just wearing your equipment out faster than you need to. And that's when you really start making mistakes.
And being in a pack like that, like you said, I mean, you're trying to get every little advantage. You're trying to get your nose somewhere. You're trying to get ahead. And it is very, very easy to miss your braking point and totally mess up your corners. I said 25, get around Trey. Trey's looking back to the inside, trying to take it back away again.
As right now, Wicked Gatekeeper continues to lead.
Yes, he does.
I am noticing, though, that with that 41 at the helm here in P1, there's not really a breakaway happening at the front like we'd seen earlier with the 83, the 51, and the 41.
No, everybody's pretty tight right now.
Old guy's probably wishing they'd get a little racy up here as he's just behind this lead pack.
Yeah, you know it.
And right there behind him, we actually have our playoff drivers running 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th as we have Titans, Trey, then Old Guy, and then Golden Diver.
Got 3 wide right now.
Yes, we do. Who was the 6th playoff driver, Taddy? We knew Shadow Grim was unfortunately not able to make it.
Sergeant Sauls.
Sergeant Sauls.
Two of the catches the grass.
Yeah, 2 of the 4 drivers, Shadow Grim and Sergeant Sauls, apparently were unable to
41
make it.
catches the wall. Now let's the 51
real quick,
get around him.
I'm glad you mentioned that, actually, real quick. Big shout out to both those guys. They were unable to race tonight. After this race, they would be officially eliminated. But just making it this far into the season, big shout out to you guys. You guys did a great job all year.
Oh yeah, made Ford Camp proud getting this far.
Exactly.
Oh, I am in a chat with all Ford Camp.
Yeah, so you're outnumbered, so be careful.
That 41 right now, he's in the sucker hole. He can't get back down to the bottom.
Is. I'll tell you what.
He's gonna have to drive it in here and pinch down that 25 if you can. You can't rotate it on the top up there. It's so tough.
I gotta say, now that he's away from the pack, it looks like Diver's got a little bit more control of his car, which goes back to what you were saying, Noko. Whenever you're running in the pack, just driving too hard.
25 looks like he clipped the 41 a little bit on corner entry, and that allowed the 83 to kind of tuck up closer to the 25 to see if the Cards fan can make a move here.
I think that goes back to the rhythm track that we were talking about. You know, Titans hasn't been up in the front for a while, and he's trying to push it as hard as he can to get back to the front. And I think because of that, he's out of his own rhythm. That his rhythm was the fastest on the track by far earlier.
Yeah, it's a lot different leading the race versus being stuck back in the pack.
Yes, it is.
You're kind of at the you're at the mercy of the other drivers around you when you're not in the lead.
As we are coming up to 17 laps to go.
Almost triple over there. 17 to go. So we should be seeing some of the guys start to roll on the pit road here soon.
Yeah, I mean, do you short pit as we see Napa duck down? Maybe that's a signal. Yep, he's coming on pit road. Napa's short pitting. So is he
what
going
we talked about, not making any mistakes entering the access road to pit road.
That was a good entry on that access road. But now
It's
with
tough
Napa
because you want to
pitting,
make up so much ground.
is he forcing everybody else's hand to make them come in and pit now, knowing that he's going to have the fresher tires?
I don't think so, not yet. I think some of these guys might peel off a little later. Like if that was bad, I'd try to give it a few laps. I mean, you got a pretty sizable lead right now.
I think it depends on what you're... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I think it depends on what your strategy is. If you're thinking of when you want to come down pit lane and you're going to take 4 tires, maybe make up some lap time, I think that you probably want to pit shortly. But I think if you're one of those guys that's going to run out the fuel, wait, maybe just take a splash, maybe 2 tires, maybe no tires, and just get to the end, you're not pitting now for sure. You want to wait until you've run the tank almost empty so you can take the smallest amount of fuel possible.
As we see Titans coming on pit road.
25's on pit road now.
Golden Diver's also on pit lane, but he spun out getting on there, so he's going to lose considerable amount of position and time. As he's going a lap down right now.
Oh, you hate to see it.
And see the 21 looks like he's.
So the next question will be, when is the leader going to pit? Is he going to run it all the way out, or is he going to pit now that the 25's on pit road, which was his closest competitor to him? He's staying out another lap, guys.
Oh yeah.
And it looks like the 41 truck of Wicked Gatekeeper, he's staying out another lap as well. It's
Yep.
going to be interesting. I wonder if these guys are just thinking we're going to run it out and just take fuel only.
That could be it. As we see, Titan's making his way off pit road.
Going a lap down right now.
Another thing they might be thinking, you know, Titans is now trapped a lap down. If they stay out with him being a lap down and a caution comes out, even with them pitting, they'll still be able to stay ahead of Titans and keep him trapped more towards mid to the back of the pack.
And not to mention how long Titan's stop was. It looks like he did take 4 tires.
So seeing that, do you definitely now try to take 2 tires or maybe no tires in a splash?
I mean, if I'm not going for anything but a win, absolutely. I'm going to do the opposite of what they did. I'm just going to try to get a splash and go, 2 tires, adjust my wedge, crank up my right side tire pressures, and go for it.
How many laps of fuel did you say they get, Boomhauer?
It said 24 under the caution, but I'm pretty sure after you on that first lap, it's going to drop to 23.
And there was 29 laps.
And that was 29.
Remaining?
So say 27 after the caution laps. So that's
Plus
at least
your
3 or 4
release
laps.
time in the corners. I'm wondering if maybe Gatekeeper, who's fallen now back behind Bad For You, I wonder if he's not possibly saving some fuel to see if he can't make it to the end. Because you're looking at only being about 3 to 4 laps short with a full tank after that last caution. We might see a couple guys trying to stretch it. Like you said, Noko, he's got nothing to lose and everything to gain by trying to get that W.
And it's a good thing you said that, because I'm watching Trey's broadcast. They're coming up on 10 laps to go, and he currently has 8 laps of fuel left, so maybe he's trying to stretch it as well.
Titans are going to get his lap back here as he gets under the 51 and Bad For You.
Them fresh tires.
Yeah, Trey's another
in.
one of those drivers that just before this pit cycle started, he was right up there in that front pack racing with Titans, and with him falling off, just like you were saying, as the 41 looks like he's coming pits now. But Trey, he runs a lot with Creed being in the Toyota camp. I wonder if Creed's information hasn't seeped over to Trey and he's playing a little strategy.
Possibly. I mean,
I'm going to keep an eye on this 42 or 41. I want to see if he's just going to take fuel only on this stop.
I'm going to go ahead and ride along with that 54 truck, just so I can't see his strategy and if and when he pits.
I'm watching his RPMs. But he's getting all the way up to 8,000. Now he's backing out of the corners a little bit early, but
that
it don't
41,
look like he's saving.
That 41 definitely took 2 tires there, because that pit stop was fast. We'll see how this shakes out.
If you're Bad For You at this point and you have this big gap over, looks like the 21 in Napa at this point, would you possibly start thinking about saving, or is it too late and you're dead set on what your strategy already was?
Honestly, with such few laps left, it's going to be tough to save 2 laps. I feel like if you're going to be saving fuel, you want to save it from the start of the run. That's tough. That's a tough position. I'm not even quite sure how to answer that. I mean, I feel like maybe Bad might be waiting until everybody else is getting their pit stops in, but at that point, I mean, you've lost so much track position on new tires. It's tough. It's tough to judge.
The 83 of Cards fan is now getting past Trey, and I believe Napa pitted, so that would make this battle for second.
Yes, it is.
And I'm looking, I mean, it looks like an easy 6-7 second gap between first and second. That's why I bring up that question on maybe Bad For You would have a decent enough gap to be able to maybe save about a lap, but I mean, the laps are running down. It's getting pretty late to do that.
Yeah, there's 6 laps to go, 5.5. I don't know. He might be saving as we see the 21 literally just blow past him like he was sitting still.
Well, the 21's also fresh off pit lane, so he might have taken some tires and.
You got 2 more trucks on pit road right now, guys. Looks like the 88's on pit road. Looks like the 7's on pit road.
There is a 6-second gap between Bad For You to Trey, and there's only a 1.5-second gap back from Bad For You to Cards Fan.
Shout out to Shannon Hayes. I don't know who you are. He posted in our chat that he thinks that Bad For You's been saving for about 8 laps. We'll see here shortly if that's true.
Yes, it is. We will. Because he is definitely catching Bad For You.
It's a tough strategy here because if you can't save the fuel, man, it really burns you.
Yes, it does. Oh yeah, he's definitely saving because Trey's cut that gap from over 6 seconds down to 4 seconds. As we are coming up on, we've got 3 to go right now, so I think he might have waited a little bit too late, because here comes Cards Fan. Nope, Cards Fan's pitting. He's pitting.
Can't make it. But like we talked about, I mean, the 51 truck, he had nothing to lose here, so why not try it?
Let's see Diver make his way around him. And I gotta say, unfortunate break for Trey. He is going to be a lap short.
Is that a full lap or is that a half lap? I've noticed with this game, when your tank reaches 0, you can usually run about a quarter to a half a lap before it starts sputtering on you.
There are 2 laps to go right now. I'm watching his stream. His thing is still on 1 to go.
Bad For You spun trying to pit. Bad For You
Yes, he
spun
did.
out on the infield.
Oh.
I don't think he was actually trying to pit.
He didn't take the access road either.
As Trey's truck is spitting and sputtering.
Is that turn 1 and 2 he's in?
Yes, he's in. He's coming out of turn 2 right now. He's on
And
the
here
back
comes
stretch.
Titans right behind him to take surpass him for the lead.
Yep, Titans gets it.
And second place, the 41 of the Gatekeepers trying to get by Trey right now.
As he does.
You know, Trey had nothing to lose there, trying to go for it. You know, this is another race that getting ready to go into Daytona. It's all or nothing. You need those playoff points to try and advance this next round.
Absolutely. But guess who is now going to finish 3rd?
Is that Old Guy?
Yes, it is.
Good run for Old Guy. So real quick, points update as we get ready to go into Daytona. Titans now with this win, that puts him at 24 points, 24 playoff points. Trey at 11. Old Guy and Golden. Old Guy has 4, Golden has 3. One of those drivers will be eliminated after Daytona, and so all eyes will be on Old Guy and Golden, as it's a 1-point difference to see who advances to Homestead.
And seeing
This is gonna be good.
How many points did you say Titans and Trey have?
Titans with a win gets to 24, and Trey is sitting at 11, so he's not necessarily comfortable, but he has a 7-point lead over Old Guy, which would be an 8-point lead over Golden Diver.
Well, that
Now,
means
keep
Trey
in
and
mind,
Titans
though,
automatically advance them because you can only get 6 points. in a race. So it's definitely going to come down between those two.
Well, no, because your race points plus your playoff points are what total. Whoever has the
True.
most points total at the end of the race is who advances. So there's a possibility of gaining 60 points. A win, if you win both stages, that would be 20, plus the race win would be another 40 points. So there's a total of 60 points on the line for possibility.
We'll have to see.
I mean, it's all still up
Titans
in the air.
has the fastest lap. All right.
So it gets the W and the fastest lap. So we'll be back here in about 10 minutes as we get ready to go Daytona racing in the round of 4 to drop it down to 3 before we get to our season finale at Homestead.
As we look at the leaderboard, Titans first, Napa second, Wicked third, Pendle fourth, Cards fifth, Trey sixth, Bad for You seventh, and then Diesel in 10th. So 8 of the top 10 for the daily belong to Giggity again.
Nice. Once again, good job, guys.
Absolutely. And like I said, we will catch y'all in about 10 minutes as we get Daytona going. Hope y'all join along again.
Qualify.